everyone, Rettinger here. Excuse the clutter behind me. I'm moving next week and in the heat of packing. So if you see surfboards and boxes behind me, accept my apologies. So I want to talk about the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. This is my second go around with the Xbox. I had a 360 for probably a good year and a half and sold it. Picked up a PlayStation 3 instead, which I thought I would use for whenever I decided to play a game, but primarily as a Blu-ray player. So time had passed, and Xbox released their new Xbox experience, and with that came Netflix streaming and a more streamlined user experience. So I rebought an Xbox 360, and I want to give you guys my comparisons and thoughts on the two, and if I had to pick one console, which one I would pick. So first, the Xbox 360 has a fantastic catalog of games. Absolutely fantastic. It's got some great exclusives, Halo and the rest. Gameplay is fantastic, I think. Graphically, it's quite stunning on an HD television. But for me, the real killer app is the Netflix streaming. I've always enjoyed watching Netflix movies, and as soon as I went online, it was just another added bonus. So the fact that I can do that now on my TV really is icing on the cake for me. You can also download movies from the Xbox Marketplace and download games, legacy games, new games, all kinds of stuff. The Xbox really shines, as far as gaming is concerned, when you're playing online. Xbox Live is fantastic, although it is a subscription service, so you do have to pay for it. That's certainly a negative. But if you do decide that you want to play online, it's a fantastic way to go. It is a cheaper console, depending on which model you get. I know if you start adding up a Wi-Fi adapter, extra controller, bigger hard drive, you end up at just about the same place as the PlayStation 3. But you do get a lot of options with the Xbox, whether you want no hard drive, what size hard drive, whether you want a black one or a white one. You pay for all those choices, but you really do get different options. Something to keep in mind. PlayStation 3 also has a fantastic catalog of games. It certainly has a ton of exclusive titles for it, and its catalog is growing rapidly. The Xbox 360 had about a year head start on the PlayStation when it was released, so there are a few less games for the PlayStation. Graphically, the games look fantastic. I think even maybe a smidge better than on the Xbox. Although my PlayStation is hooked up with HDMI, the Xbox hooked up with component. Online play, not necessarily the strongest suit of the console. It's a little bit weak, a little bit laggy on occasion, and it's not terribly intuitive. So if you had to compare the two just based on online gaming experience, you have to give the edge to the Xbox. PlayStation 3 also has the PlayStation Network, where you can download games, legacy games as well, new games, and you can also download and rent movies and TV shows. So it really has that going for it as well. What the biggest draw for me about the PlayStation was a built-in Blu-ray player. If you own an HD TV, Blu-ray looks absolutely fantastic, and at the time, Blu-ray players were $400 or $500. I could get a PlayStation 3 for less and be able to play games and have it be firmware upgradable, which is always very nice. Some of the Blu-ray players, you buy it and the firmware that's on there is the way it stays. With the PlayStation, you know that Sony's going to be upgrading it in order to stay competitive, so that was very nice. And as far as functioning as a Blu-ray player, I think the functionality is absolutely fantastic. I got an external remote to go with it, so it looks and acts just like any other Blu-ray player. Absolutely outstanding. So guys, for me, personally, if I had to pick one console, I'm actually going to side now with the Xbox 360, for a few reasons. I'm not watching as many Blu-ray movies as I thought I would, and that's probably because now I have Netflix streaming, I have an Apple TV, I have a lot of new ways to get content onto my television, as opposed to just putting in physical media. I don't play that many games, but when I do like to play with friends, and Xbox Live really just can't be beat. You do give up a little bit graphically, and I think you give up storage space on the DVD versus the Blu-ray ROMs that the PlayStation uses. But for me personally, I think the Xbox is a better way to go. Catalog of games, and more of my friends have an Xbox. So it's a lot easier to game with more people that you know. So I'm sure people are going to criticize and complain and say that I'm wrong, and you guys are entitled to your opinions, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say. For me personally, the controller is more intuitive and feels a little more natural in my hands. I have a little bit bigger hands, so the PlayStation controller always feels a little cramped for me. But that being said, there are a lot of people that the PlayStation is better for. If you're a pretty hardcore gamer and you're dedicated to some PlayStation exclusives, if you want to be able to play Blu-ray content, and if you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of online play, the PlayStation is a fantastic choice. So I recommend the PlayStation if you want to use it as a Blu-ray player. If you have no interest in Blu-ray at all and you just want to play games, Xbox is the way to go. If you do want to be able to play movies on it, definitely go with the PlayStation 3. You won't be disappointed. Just for me, as far as gaming and my experience, the Xbox is just a better choice. So guys, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say. I know some of these videos can incite rageful comments, so please try and keep it civil. Hope you enjoyed. If you want some exclusive content, be sure to follow me on Twitter at www.twitter.com/John4Lakers. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.